Hi, we're Chris and Julie Moran and our little boy Brody. We just wanted to tell you our story of how he came into our life. We've been here in Wichita for a little over a year, and we've been at Central for about the same amount of time. We just moved from Japan, from Okinawa, Japan, and through the Air Force. I'm KC-135 pilot. We just want to tell you first how he came into life, all the details, as well as the spiritual side, because there's so many things that have lined up with this entire thing. We've learned a lot.
Chris and I had been dealing with infertility for a couple of years. It was a really hard and difficult time in our lives. But while we were in the midst of the infertility issues, we had a friend that came to us and said that she knew of a birth mother that was about 8 months pregnant, was looking for a family for a baby. Would we be interested? And we said, yeah, absolutely. You know, we had always wanted to adopt. We just kind of thought we would have biological children first. And come to find out, this birth mom had already chosen another family, and Chris and I were just really upset and devastated. And about a week later, we decided, well, why don't we go through the process to adopt ourselves? You know, this is obviously something that we feel like God is leading us to do, and we just wanted to see where it went.
Yeah, we really had no idea that we were going to try to adopt our first child. And we always thought, even when we were dating, we thought like, oh, we want to adopt, that's really good, and we'd probably do that. We'd have a couple of our own naturally, and then we'd adopt later on. Obviously God had different plans for us, and that's where he really got us started thinking. We knew the application process takes a long time, and we're like, we're gonna get this done fast. We're gonna get as soon as we get the forms, we'll fill them out, we'll send it back, and we'll get our payments in right on time, and we're just gonna get everything done as quick as we can. And then it didn't go as quick as we thought it would, and it took forever. And then the background checks took forever, and it was interesting because we not only did we want to go quick, we were like, well, maybe we can get this done by Christmas. And then we started letting go some more control, and to the points where, well, whenever it happens, we'll be okay with it. It was interesting because when I was deployed end of last year, and I was working with some of the chaplains there in some Bible studies, and he had talked about lordship in a way that I'd never heard about, or I've never heard before. And he was talking about lordship of being in the place where you really don't have desires of your own, but the desires that you do have are what God wants. And that was the whole process. Like it was really specific initially of we wanted kids of our own, and then okay, now that's not going to happen. Now maybe we can adopt, and we'll get the application process done quick. And then that didn't happen. It was like God was teaching us to slowly let go more, and let go even more, to really get to the point where eventually, a couple weeks before he came along, we were just like, all right, God, it's I want what you want. And we're going to be okay with that. And that was a hard point to get to, just kind of relinquishing that control. Waiting is always really hard, and it's not easy, no matter what you're praying about. And it kind of goes back a couple weeks ago when Pastor Welsh was talking about prayer in our lives, and how we should be praying about everything, and even the big things, and praying without ceasing. And when you're praying, he also said, realize that it's not just going to be what you want. He may have a different answer for you, or he just won't answer you right now, but maybe later. And so we got to realize that when we do pray, and we really saw that in this situation, because we were praying for all these specific things, and it really wasn't really what God wanted then. It was a little bit different than what we thought.
Yeah, my spiritual journey was a little bit different than Chris's. The infertility was a really dark time for me. I had a lot of questions for God that I wanted answered. I wanted to know why this was happening to us. I wanted to know, what his plan was, and I was angry at God. I just felt like he forgot about us in the midst of this. I actually ended up joining a support group here at church called Glory Babies. It's for women who are dealing with infertility and also miscarriage and stillbirth, and I just learned so much from that group. I felt like God really started to teach me that I could try to control this process as much as I wanted to, but unless it was his timing and his way and his will for us, it wasn't going to happen. Slowly, yes, our home study took forever, and slowly through that process, I just really tried to give up that control. And I had some good days and I had some bad days. I had some days that I was full of hope that God had something great for us, and that he loved us, and some days were much darker, and I cried a lot of tears and didn't know why God was having us go through this process. When we first decided that we wanted to adopt, Smart Consumers called around, and found out some prices. We ended up going with Catholic Charities here in Wichita, and we're just really pleased with all that they did for us. You know, they provide counseling for the birth mother and education for us, giving us an idea what to expect when adopting and all of that. So we were just really happy with them. I'm sure there's other great agencies here in Wichita as well. So that's kind of the first steps to adopt. So, you know, after that long home study, God gave us the surprise of our lives.
So there's really no other way to explain it than it really being a God thing. He lined everything else up. There's so many factors that came into on that Friday, January 17th. I had been gone. I'd been deployed. I was home for a few weeks, and I was out doing an instructor school. And so that was about 6 months maybe altogether. So this is the first day back in 6 months. They had told me, by the way, you're going to go on a trip on the next Monday. It's going to be for an entire week. That got canceled on Friday morning. We were going to be down to San Antonio for some other medical stuff, and Julie had surgery a few days before, so that kept us here. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been here when this happened. And because of my training, I didn't know if I'd be home, and Julie was going to have surgery. We had her mom come out just to help in case I wasn't going to be home, and so her mom was there to help us.
That afternoon, on Friday the 17th, January 17th, about 3:30 in the afternoon, our adoption worker called us and said that she was showing a profile to a birth mother who had delivered a little boy earlier that day, along with other couples, and so we tried not to get our hopes up.
Yeah.
And about 3.5 hours later,
Yeah.
she called back and said, the birth mother picked you guys, you're going to be parents, come get your baby. And
The look on your face was priceless.
I bet.
She picked us, and I was like, oh my goodness, we have a son.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
They both almost
Unbelievable.
passed out. Thankfully, my mom was there to remind us that it's all going to work out okay. You know, we'd get everything we needed for the baby later.
Yeah, we had not one baby thing in our house. We had
Yeah.
nothing. But we were just like, who cares? Let's go get our son at the
we were
hospital.
So happy. We just feel so blessed, just so grateful to the birth mother, first for giving life. I think there's a stigma with birth mothers sometimes, thinking that they make an adoption plan for their baby because they don't care about their baby. But really, all the birth mothers that we have had in contact with and have heard about just love these babies so much, and
do
just
care.
know that they maybe can't provide everything for them that they want to, and know that they'd be maybe better off with another family. And so I just think that's such a selfless thing that she did, and we are so grateful for the gift of this little guy.
We're just hoping to help encourage people who are in this situation, not only for people who are adopting, just to hang in there and keep trusting, because obviously God has a purpose, and you may not have the answers now, but they'll come. And because now hindsight, everything makes sense, even though it didn't then. As well as to those who are in the situation, who could be pregnant and are thinking about making an adoption plan, to really encourage them to really think about that. He does care about us, even though it may not seem like it. And we have this testament to prove it.
We
definitely consider Brody to be our miracle baby.